Hello everybody, I am Tony. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I've actually been watching a few people that have been doing like top 10 videos, and I've been getting really interested in them. So, I decided to actually do a few myself, and I wanted to rank all the palettes that I got recently, which you guys know is a lot. I didn't include everything that I've gotten recently because we'd be here forever, but I did the most recent 17 palettes, worst to first. So we're going to start this off with the very worst palette out of the 17. And guys, I just want you to remember in this video, it's just makeup when it all comes down to it. What I like is not necessarily what you like. What you like might not be what I like. We all have different skin. We like different colors. I mean, everybody likes things different. So that's all this is. I'm not trying to start any trouble or anything. But I don't know. It is what it is. And like, I just made up my mind based on the way that the palettes work for me and the colors work for me. So, anyway, let's get this thing started. Number 17 is Kat Von D with the Divine palette. Yes, I am divine, which should be I am ugly. I'm sorry. I should never have bought this because I have this everywhere else in my collection. I really don't know. And like, the lady on the front from the Drew Carey show should have like told me not to buy it, but for some reason, like, I got that itch and I thought I should buy it. Wrong thought. Oh well, it'll be getting returned to Sephora. Alright, the next one might be iffy with you guys. I got this thinking that I would be able to use this as a highlight and eyeshadow palette. I don't know if that is the case. Give me 1 second. You guys know I'm addicted to my peach Red Bull. This is the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil, and I got this and I was like, yes, I can use these 3 colors, and then I can use the blue for my eyeshadow, and then use browns. And I don't use browns ever. I used brown the other day, but it was brown glitter. I mean, so that tells you what kind of brown I like. And then I tried to use the middle color as a highlight on me, and it is too dark. So that right there tells you this is not going to work for me. And I wish it would, and it could, but it won't. So I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to take a little batch back to Sephora because God knows I've given them a lot of money lately. Okay, next one. I might have some seriously mad people because there are so many people that wish they could have this palette, and I got it and just do not like it. No inspiration whatsoever. This is the New Nude by Huda Beauty. Look at that. I mean, I did use it. You can tell I used it. But I just had no inspiration from it. And the card fell somewhere by my foot. I'll get it in a minute. There it is. Oh well. I'll get it later. But this palette, it just gave me no inspiration. None. And like, it's beautiful. And this would be awesome, like on my wedding day or something like that. But until then, this is going to be on the shelf for me. Next up, it's probably not going to be a surprise to a lot of people. This is the Fetish palette by Kat Von D. Now, I like colored highlights and colored blushes, so I thought that I would like this. I don't like the blushes in it. I do like the highlights, so it's 50-50 with me, but 50-50 isn't really good enough for a palette. I have to like it. I have to like the whole thing for me to want it and to like it and to go for it and stuff like that. I don't want to have to pull out like something for one thing and then like, you know, one thing for something else and one thing for I just love for everything to be in one place. Not that that's possible ever, but I keep looking for that thing with my feet. The next one is a palette that I actually like, but my problem with this palette is that there are too many mattes in it. And I know there are a lot of people that complain about the exact opposite, that there are too many foils in palettes. This is the NYX Off Tropic palette, which the colors are beautiful. They are pigmented, they are vibrant, they are awesome. I have this on my eyes today, actually. But this gold right here, that is the only foiled shade in the whole palette. So I just gotta go with what I can on this one. I mean, I'll still keep this palette. I will use it. I mean, I ordered this straight from NYX because I couldn't find it anywhere. And I knew I wanted it. So, I won't be getting rid of this one, but, it is a little high on the no-no list because too many mattes. So there goes that. Okay, here's the next one. The next one's brand new. Half of you guys probably haven't even like seen this in person. This is number 12. And I actually like this palette, but it doesn't, it's too much of the same thing. I love that the highlights in here. I don't care that the pan sizes are different and things are set up weird. I could care less. I took this to a family member's house because I had just bought it. And I forgot a highlighter, but I had this. So it actually saved me, or it would be higher up on the list because, I mean, if you look at this color and this color are almost the same. And this one's only a shade or two different. And then this one and this one are almost the same. And if you look at this baby blue, baby blue, and this white, they're not that different. So I'm just not going to go there with this palette. The Icy Bitch is so-so. It's getting down there on the list, so it's like so-so. The next one we are going to do is the Violet Boss Les Macarons. This is something you can tell that I have put a lot of love into. And I know I already complained about one palette having too many mattes, while this one doesn't have any. Not even one. So that's my complaint about this. I don't have a black, I don't have a flesh color, I don't have brown, I don't have anything. So if I just wanted to stick this in my purse, I would have to stick something else in there to go with it, to go underneath it. So, I mean, I don't even mind doing shimmers on the bottom and then doing shimmers on the top of my eyes, but, you know, like, the colors have to be there, and the colors in this palette don't exactly go together that great. You kind of need another palette to marry it with for it to be good. So, this palette will be at number 11. So it's getting down there. It's almost halfway. The next one is going to surprise a lot of people. I got a palette not too long ago and fell in love with it. I didn't own anything from this collection, and I liked it so much that it made me decide to go and get something else from the collection. And I went and got the ABH Norvina palette. This is what it looks like. You can tell I've used it a little bit. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't know what it is about this palette. There's a ton of mattes, ton of shimmers. I mean, it should be the perfect palette, but it's just not. This is like the same thing with the new nudes palette, that there is no inspiration here for me. And maybe it's too bland of a palette. And maybe I just don't have the knowledge on how to work with it and make it look edgy, because the colors are kind of bland. But I mean, it's beautiful, it really is, but I just I can't do it. I mean, that's all there is to it. So ABH's Norvina is at number 10. So it's down there a little bit. Okay. Up next, this is funny that this is next, and it's further down on the list than an ABH palette. This is the ColourPop Villains palette. I love this palette. It's so cute. I'm trying to get my lights to not hit it too much. I haven't used it that much yet, but I use this blue. I use this green color, and then I use this color that has like a teal in it. Oh my goodness, these colors pay off like crazy. I love this palette. Like, I cannot wait to dig further into the colors that I haven't dug into yet. Like this color right here is almost like a green color. It just doesn't pull that way on the monitor. It looks more like this on the screen than it really does in person. So this is the Misunderstood palette. This is the Disney Villains palette. And this is number 9 on the worst to first list. So put that down there. The next one we have, I honestly don't have a problem with this palette. I like it. It's really pigmented. I don't have a problem with it. But there were things that I like better. That's all I can really say. And it is what it is. This is the Jouer d'Amour 6 shade blush palette. Sorry about that. I have no problem with this whatsoever. It's just a blush palette, so it's not as amazing as an eye palette, I guess. I mean, I've been using it a lot, so that means that I like it, but, you know, I like my eye palettes a little bit better than my blush palettes, so, up next, we have number 7. So this is the High Tides and Good Vibes palette. I just love the cover of this. It's so pretty. And then this is what it looks like. Now I do like this palette very much. My lights are hitting off the gold and my shirt. But I have used the glitters in here. I love them. I've used the mattes in here and the foils and the metallics and whatever else you want to call them. I really, really like this palette. I just have a couple that I like better. You do need a glitter glue with the glitters. They don't stay on by themselves, obviously. I mean, that's pretty much a given. But you do have to, with this blue right here, and then this blue, you do have to build the shade up quite a bit to get it to look like it does in the pan. But all around, this is a good palette. I like having it, and I'm really glad it's in my collection. So, alright, what do we have next? Okay. Alright, this is another Violet Voss palette. This is the Fruit Sorbet palette. Now, let me show you guys a little bit closer. I really don't have a problem with this palette. It's going to be perfect for spring coming up. Like, I've already used this blue and this green. You can tell I haven't had it very long. But these 5 shades over here are going to be amazing come springtime. Like, I cannot wait to use this springtime. It is this springtime. So, it's getting to be at that point. So this is number 6 on my worst to first list that started at 17. Let me fix my little piece of plastic in here. Okay. Next up, we have number 5. This is the Tarte Pro Remix palette, if I can get it to stay up. I wanted this palette for a really long time. It came out around holiday last year, somewhere around there, and I saw it and I fell in love, and I needed to have it. Like, I really wanted it really bad, and I waited and waited and waited and waited, and finally, like, March came around, and I was like, I'm going for it, and I got it, because I had just wanted it for so long, and there were, like, so many, like, metallic foiled shades in here and stuff like that, and I love the packaging, and, I mean, I love this palette. This palette is awesome, and this is number 5 on the list. Okay, up next, number 4. This is the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. Now, I have not gone into this as much as I wish I had. What I have went into, I have loved. I honestly blame it on too much makeup at this point, because I have so much stuff, I never know what to use. And honestly, I mean, you can tell I don't care what color my eyes are for the day, like whether it matches my outfit or not. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'll use any makeup as long as it's good. I'll use whatever. But I mean, quality stuff, this is quality. Like, it really is. And I don't know if this is making sense at all, but this palette, I mean, if you have it, you'll understand. It's so, like, the colors are so pigmented, they're so strong, and they're just beautiful. I know I haven't done a swatch this whole freaking time, and I had to do one. This palette is amazing. It really is, and I wish I would have gotten more use out of it, but I have so much stuff. I think that I'm gonna start a shop my stash, and I'm gonna have to put this in like the first month or week or whatever I decide, however I'm gonna do it. Okay, up next is number 3 out of 17. This is the Violet Voss The Rainbow palette. You can tell I have dove into this almost the whole thing. I love this palette. Like, the colors in it are absolutely beautiful. I have nothing to complain about. There is 100% pigment. They're beautiful. Once you put them on, they're there. You don't have to touch them up. They're good to go. So, I love the Violet Voss formula. I have 6 of their palettes, I think. Yeah, 6. So, I know how their palettes work pretty well, but this is definitely a great palette, and especially for the color aspect when it comes to me loving like the bright colors and the crazy colors and stuff like that. This is perfect for me. So that is number 3. Number 2, this should be no surprise to anyone. This is the ABH Riviera palette, and I have put a hurtin' on this thing. I use this palette a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean very, very often. So I don't know. Um, I love the mattes. I love the shimmers. You have to work with this palette a little bit. Like, the formula is a little bit different than what I'm used to. But if you blend this out and you take the time to actually work with the shadow, it will work like a dream. You just have to give it time. Like, I mean, it takes a few moments to do things with it. But it's absolutely beautiful, and it's just stunning. I hope they come out with another palette that looks something like this with the colors and things like that. I would be so happy to see them come out with another colorful palette. Alright, that is that. And then for the very last in this video, this is my very most favorite palette I own. This is the Flamingo palette by Violet Voss. Go figure. The colors in here are amazing. The mattes blend out seamlessly. The shimmers are beautiful. There is nothing that I dislike about this palette. I mean, the only thing they could have done to make me any happier was have a color here instead of a black. But I know that a lot of people like black. So, I mean, it's no big deal. I can deal with having a black there. But this is the top of the tier for me. I love this palette. I will love it for a very long time, and I'm so glad that I got it. I waited for a really long time. Like, I saw this last summer, and I really wanted it, and I waited and waited and waited, and finally I just pulled the plug and was like, I'm gonna get it, and I'm so glad that I did. So, if you guys are still here with me after 20 some minutes of me blabbering about palettes that I'm happy with and not happy with and this and that, if you're not subscribed yet, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and give me a thumbs up on this video with my swatched hand. If you want to be notified, hit the notification bell. And I am going to be having a really big giveaway soon. I think that most of you guys probably know that, but I just wanted to let you know. My fiance talked me into doing it, so I'm going to have one grand prize winner, and then I'm going to have 2 smaller backup prizes because I had too much stuff. I was going that crazy, so he made me kind of slow down a little bit on the giveaway, but it's still going to be really, really great. Trust me. Like, I can't wait to do it. I'm going to Pittsburgh next week, and then when I come back, I'm going to figure out the schedule of when exactly I'm going to do the giveaway, and then how it's going to work and everything like that. And I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. And I'll have videos up all the time. I know that I missed a few days this week. I had been with family and everything else. So anyway, I love you guys. Whatever time it is, wherever you are, I hope you're doing great. Love you all. Bye.